Hello, my beloveds. Amana here with your weekly moon soul messages for this new moon in Cancer, June 25th, 2025. Today, how does it feel? How are you feeling? I was feeling called to break out 3 different decks today. So I have Rebecca Campbell's Ancient Stones Oracle, the Herbal Astrology Oracle, and then Autumn Skies beautiful deck here. So I'm just gonna pull here one card from each and we'll see where we flow, what cards arise here. And now I see my little dog approaching. Hi, Zeus. Hello. How are you feeling after reaching the peak of the light of the year? We just had summer solstice and my family and I have been in the middle of a move. So if you haven't seen much of me, it's because I'm busy moving things, creating new spaces, cleaning up old spaces. It's been fun, but also really, really full, but beautiful. And I'm feeling the shifts, I'm feeling the changes. I'm having moments, these little moments where I feel like hesitation, and then these glorious moments where I just feel so aligned and held by spirit, moments of synchronicity and just so much magic. There's so much magic in the world. And yes, of course, there's so much otherness, like there's both. There's tragedy, there's sadness, there's death, there's grief, and there's also like passion and bliss and joy. And it's important that we know how to feel it all. So, all right, I pulled these cards. Let's flip them over and see what we got. Stepping stones. Take the next step, simplicity, focus. Then elder, oh, how perfect, as the elder flowers are blooming right now. This elder card, wisdom. And then this one here, passion, find your bliss, release shame, heal emotional blocks, explore sacred sensuality, live passionately. So this first message, this stepping stones, take the next step, simplicity, focus. Like, I feel like this is somewhat of a recurring message or a theme here on these moon messages. And I feel like our messages return to us when we haven't heard them enough yet, or if they haven't manifested into action, or if messages are returning to us, they continue to be for us. And this one is just so beautiful. Just, it's this woman walking backwards on the stones through a river towards this tree, which I love, as I have this tree behind me right here and above me. And it can feel, when we have big goals, which I do, I know you do too, when we have big goals, big visions for our life, that it can feel challenging. Like, it feels like, how am I ever gonna get to that end point? But it starts with one step, and then another step, and then another step, and just taking steps in the right direction, and remembering to focus in and discerning what is a step that's taking me towards this, and stop taking all these other steps away from your goal. It's really easy to lose our focus or to lean towards other things. There's so much to explore in life. There's so much to be distracted by in life, like just scroll on social media for an hour. What if instead in that hour you created a post or a reel, or wrote down some of your intentions, or even worked an hour on your website or something like that, and see how that might shift if you could do that every day, or even like once a week. What sort of structure could you build as you focus and move forward? And then this is just so beautiful. Like the elder tree, elderberries, elderflowers. I mean, the card, elder, like the name of this tree, wisdom, elder, and it has these little fairies. This tree I have really grown to love so much. There's actually one growing on this property across the field there that I visit, and witches and women have been known. I'm reminded here, you see this little wand here, that witches make wands out of elder branches, very powerful wands. And there's so much in all of it. So one thing that I used to only ever hear about elderberries, but now I also hear about the flowers, and both are medicinal. And I feel like this is really common in our life. We focus on like one thing, right? Like, or the positive, or one thing that gets labeled as the medicine, and yet not just the berries are medicine, but the flowers are also medicine. And how perfect and beautiful is that? And these little fairies that are said to reside in the elder. And this card also just makes me think of all of our elders that are alive, our elders that are now ancestors. And this feels just like a very supportive card, supportive medicine tree, and reminding us that there's medicine in the dark berries. There's also medicine in these white, beautiful flowers. And wisdom is there. Wisdom is in this tree. Wisdom is in you. And then this last card from Autumn Sky. Yes, did I say the second one? Herbal Astrology Oracle. I think I did. Okay. For a second, I thought maybe I didn't. And now I have these silly dogs playing right next to me. Hey, go on. Go somewhere else, please. Passion. Find your bliss. They are right here. If I could turn the camera easily, I would show you these silly, beautiful, wonderful little dogs here. And this card is meant to be upside down, which makes me think of rebirth, right? Like that rebirthing energy. And finding, she's totally what I would call, like, she looks very blissed out here in this image. The messages on this card, on the back of this card, are find your bliss, release shame, heal emotional blocks. We all have emotional blocks. And also, healing is not there's no end point with our healing journeys. We're always gonna have things that come up in our life that are challenging, that require healing. Explore your sacred sensuality. This is something that has been really buried in our world. And the culture of sex and sensuality has really been focused on the male pleasure, the male orgasm, the male gaze. And I feel like this is a new era of women exploring and finding and remembering and reclaiming our own sensuality in and of itself, and what we desire when we make love or engage in sensual activities with ourselves and with others, and to live passionately. So to me, our passions are often also our soul callings, and I feel that as well. Like I listen to birth stories, I watch birth videos, I read about birth, I've read about pregnancy and birth my whole life, not because I was ever required to do so, but because I was curious and passionate about it. And it has been a soul calling for me to know more, and asked my grandmother the stories of her births and the other births that she wound up attending, even that were not her own. So I feel like this card is just here to remember, to find your bliss, to lean into the bliss. Rachel Brathen on a recent podcast episode, she was talking about how us as women, we often have like so many freaking to-do lists, right? Every day you have a to-do list of, even if it's not a literal list, like a mental, like of all these things to do. But she was inviting us to, rather than put those like self-care practices or those things that bring you bliss and joy and happiness at the end of your list, like bump that to the top of the list and accomplish that first, and then feel how it feels to then face all the other things you're wanting to accomplish in the day after you've already had this experience of bliss and joy in your life. So if that rings true, maybe you would like to do that too. Take the next step, move forward towards your goals. Your elders are here supporting you in the dark and in the light. And remember to express and be in your passion and bliss and heal your old wounds. And then to close today, because I was looking at my moon calendar, and there's this little poem in here that I read right before I just sat down to do these messages. And I would like to read it to you here now. It doesn't have a title here, but it's by Aaliyah Alsafe Spears. She wrote it in 2023. She writes, "I like my women how I like the ocean, unwavering and deep, full of folklore and secrets, only decipherable by a mystic's tongue, flowing and crashing wave after wave of emotional ecstasy. I like my women how I like the mountains, unapologetically taking up space, stable yet crawling with life, unfarmed and uncultivated. I like my women how I like me, authentically and achingly true, wholeheartedly intuitive, bravely savoring life, faithful to divine timing, thirsty for the moonlight, dripping with the sun's glow, relentlessly manifesting dreams into reality, wild, untamed, and free." I hope that you are having a blissful, passionate new moon today, and that you might take one step this next week towards your goal, a simple, focused step.